got it all by yourself. How big is it?
To me, that means everything. This is why I do what I do, why I work for Family Programs Hawaii, working with the families and the kids. That's just what it's all about, is, you know, seeing them smile and have a good time.
Every child is worth celebrating for their silliness, their curiosity, their passion, for all the unique things that make them who they are. As children, it's their job to be kids. As adults, it's our job to make sure they're safe. It's up to us to speak up and reach out. Show you care for the keiki in your life and say something if you suspect something. To learn more about the signs of abuse and how to report suspected abuse, visit hawaiicjc.org.
We always hear that, you know, women don't ask for promotion unless they can check mark everything on that, like, that job description. And a lot of guys, especially in startup world, they're like, oh yeah, I can do that. I can, like, take over the world. It's all good. You should give me that $3 million because I'm just gonna kill it, right? And they have, like, no idea what they're doing. And women have a hard time asking for money when they don't know for sure if they can execute. And that's actually really holding them back. So I think that that's something that women do need to work on, is being able to take that leap of faith and be able to show that confidence, ask for that money, and knowing that they're most likely gonna execute. Female-backed companies actually, in the Fortune, let's see, I think in the Fortune 500, make 3 times the amount of return as male companies. There are very few of them, but they're doing better.
The ability to impact a child is so sacrosanct that doing it well is the only option. And so we have to commit to do our very, very best at every turn to provide exactly what every individual child needs. And that's what we do. Size in classes and ratios matter, they do. You can have a large class with a good student-teacher ratio and that academic piece will be achieved, but the relational piece will suffer. And so being intentionally small by design, it's a sacrifice, it's a cost, but we think it's worth it. And I would argue, after meeting so many alumni, grown people who bring their children back, I think it's worth it. The piece that comes back every single time with every person I've spoken to is the way they felt while they were here getting that education. They felt seen, they felt that they mattered, they felt they had a voice, and that's the piece that they remember so fondly. As a human being, we like to do what we love. And giving a teacher, someone who's called into teaching and wants to teach, giving them the freedom to teach in the way that they know they have strengths, really, they do it with love. That's kind of that piece where they can work with children and the children understand that my teacher loves me, and so I want to work hard for my teacher. There are expectations, there are objectives that every teacher has to meet. But the means by which they meet them, they have a great deal of freedom to do that. So if you go from one classroom to the next, they may look very, very different. So that is a sign of respecting the teacher's expertise while also holding them accountable to meet those objectives for the students. Experiential learning is one of our hallmarks at Holy Nativity School, and to do that, we really have to walk the talk. And in doing that, we have to extend ourselves out of the classroom into the community and even into other islands to really show students that we want you to experience this world, we want you to learn from this world, and then we want you to go out and impact the world. When parents come to pick up their children after school here, they pick up happy children. They're tired and usually very dirty, but they're very happy children. We are so grateful to our families and supporters and persevering with us through a challenging year and emerging stronger and better together, and just so grateful and looking forward to our continued partnership long into the future.
Rafaela, when she first came to us, I think she was maybe newly houseless for a couple of months. And prior to that, she was working full-time, had her own place and things like that. But certain situations happened where she was houseless. She came to our clinic needing help and services as far as like her pregnancy and getting established with a primary care doctor, or even trying to identify where to start. So for us, she wasn't only being seen for the medical part, but she was really needing the patient advocacy, so the social supports, you know, aligning her with certain providers and even assisting with insurance. She actually heard her baby's heartbeat for the first time at one of our clinics. And I think for her, like, she was just so excited. So I'm born in San Narciso, Zambales, and my family and I, we immigrated here back in 1992. Us arriving here and settling here is a huge part of why I do what I do. So for me, I grew up going to health centers. I grew up going to free clinics. At one point, we didn't have a home either, you know, but my mom made a way. And I see that similar strength in Rafaela, like she is making a way for herself and for her baby. Thinking about like her process, you know, and the things that she had to go through and what we did together as far as getting her care and getting her connected. And then also just knowing where she is now. So now she has a full-time job. You know, she's about to have her baby. She has the support that she needs, and hopefully she can get into an apartment, you know. I just like knowing the things that she has gone through and kind of seeing things to fruition now. It's inspiring. I think for me, like, that's why I get emotional. It's because like I see where you were and the journey that you're on and where you are now. And to be a part of that, to witness that, I think it's a privilege.
So the fact that you gave birth just like a couple weeks ago, and most people be like, what are you doing? You should be resting and stuff, but you really wanted to be here to have this time to talk about Home Project because it means so much to you. Why does Home Project mean so much to you?
I've had a lot of colorful experiences, I guess, with healthcare people. So just having like students come and people come to just see us and help us, it feels good to finally have people look at me not as what my circumstances are or have been, but what they're going to be. Because I'm not gonna be that person that's gonna just be in Chinatown, that doesn't have care, who's pregnant, who's just running around just being nobody. Like I am somebody, I'm a mother, and I'm not gonna be this way forever. So it's just good to kind of have people look at me and say, okay, well, she was there, but look at her now. Having people like the Home Project, it's just helpful because it makes you feel like a human being, and it's like they need to keep doing this, like to have these medical students have experience with people like us before they go to Queens or to the women's hospital, so that they could like not be so shocked by maybe somebody who's homeless and pregnant or somebody who has mental health and drug history, and they can kind of approach them with like a compassion because they've been, you know, working with the Home Project prior, you know?
Want to let you get back to your baby.
Thank you.
Congratulations. We're really excited for you, and all the
Thanks.
best in the future for you.
Thank you.
Hawaii Youth Services Network is a statewide coalition of youth-serving organizations and a Pacific Islands Training and Technical Assistance Center. We try to be the backbone that helps youth-serving organizations be more effective and efficient in what they do. We have done a lot of work on developing locally produced, culturally relevant educational materials. Our first video was called "You Cannot Get HIV Like That." And we set out to have actors who talked like us and looked like us with palm trees in the background. The original video replaced. All the actors were black and white, matched up in same-race couples, wearing heavy sweaters and going to ice skating rinks. It's no wonder our kids couldn't relate to that. I would say that we literally collaborate with over 100 different organizations. It improves efficiency and effectiveness when people are working collaboratively together. It makes for more efficient use of resources, and it makes for better outcomes for the people that we're serving. We are a major sponsor of the annual Children and Youth Summit that is held at the state capitol each year. This is a day when young people are given a voice to share their ideas about what we need to do to make Hawaii a better place to live and work and thrive. Every time that I see the young people at the Children and Youth Summit, and I see how much they care about making Hawaii a better place, and that they are prepared to back up their ideas with the labor and the enthusiasm and the passion to make it a reality, then I know we have hope for our future.
This is Kobe. He is an Australian Shepherd Pit Bull mix, and we've had him for about 7 years now. We took him to the beach, and I was taking some pictures with my new camera, and I saw the images on the back of it, and there was just something that I've never seen before. They just captured his quirky, crazy personality perfectly, and it was at that moment that I realized, like, this is what I was supposed to be doing with my life, and I want to share these images with other people of their dogs.
Lily's our golden retriever. She's 2 years old now, and she's a beautiful red golden retriever, full of tons of energy. She's super sweet. She has a condition called renal dysplasia that we found when she was about like 13 weeks old, very young, and we were told she'd only have a few months to live. So we started a bucket list for her, and we started an Instagram, and we started checking off items. And one of them was to be a model. I was nervous that Lily, first of all, wouldn't be able to like sit, stay, look, and smile at the same. Like, how do you get a dog to do all of those things? Especially at that point, she's 13 weeks, maybe.
Most of my photos are taken with them on leash so that we can kind of control their positioning and keep them safe during this.
Watching the video.
Well, hello and welcome to Pop Live. The reason why Jamie's so out of sorts is because as soon as we have this thing on autoplay, like as soon as it hits 12:30, boom, it starts. And Jamie was not ready for it.
I was watching the video.
Well, that was for our friend Carrie Nakahashi with her dog photos, and we got the stars of our dog photos here. Don't they look so festive and happy? Hey!
Hi, Lala.
La 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 la. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. Well, before we get into the thick of things, big shout outs. We're wearing matching Christmas shirts from our friends over at Eden and Love. So big shout outs to Tana, Bryson, and Alyssa, who I'm assuming designed this shirt, but
100%.
But we just love them and want to wish them and you Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. All right, so Jamie, we promised everyone that we're going to be sharing some information about what's new for 2022.
I don't know what to say. You start.
Okay, well, at the risk of talking too much and then her going... just interrupt me as you start to lose consciousness.
Okay.
But when we started this live stream, it was with the intention of really providing tons of information and resources to our friends in the nonprofit world to help them with anything and everything that we could possibly think of when it comes to communication, marketing, videos, live streaming, all that kind of stuff. And it's been really awesome. But as you've started to notice, we're starting to run out of things to talk about because we do this every week, and it's a lot of topics. We are on episode 48, so we've had 47 different things that we've talked about. Some good, some, but and in recent times, Jamie and I have started to come up with what we want to do for our moving forward with our company with Pop Creative Media. And it just so happened that the timing is wow, we decided and figured out what we want to do next right at the end of the year. So it's perfectly coinciding with 2022, the new year coming up. Let's start this new venture that we have, which is to do instructionals, tutorials, and what do we call it?
A course.
Oh yeah, we want to eventually start an online course because we think that with our experience of kind of just figuring out things in video production from kind of in my perspective, for me, a novice background, her with her background in commercial side, but we kind of learn things together as what kind of created us to where we're at now. And we work with so many nonprofits, with so many entrepreneurs and small businesses, or we're friends with, I should say, with so many entrepreneurs. And we're seeing that this is kind of the direction that a lot of people are going in, where they want to create video in-house because 10 years ago, you'd have to hire video production companies, spend thousands and thousands of dollars, so a lot of time tens of thousands of dollars, to create a TV commercial or something for your website. And nowadays, it's become so accessible and much more, I don't know, not easier, but I guess easier to self-produce things. And a lot of organizations and businesses, entrepreneurs, they're self-producing a lot of their own content. But then there's some that aren't comfortable doing it on their own yet, and they can't afford to hire anyone, so they just don't do anything. And we wanted to create an online course for those type of people who have no experience, aren't trying to be the next Jon Favreau or anything. They're not trying to be the next great Spike Lee, but they just want to be able to create decent, relevant, useful video content for their business or their organization. And so that's what we're going to be going into as another, that we'll still be doing our video production and virtual event production, but we're going to be building and creating this course that will eventually launch in 2022. So in the meantime, that's where we're kind of use this Pop Live platform that we've created to kind of help along those ways, right? So this was actually Jamie's idea. So maybe if you wouldn't mind sharing where you came up with the idea to do something like this.
It wasn't my idea, it was your idea.
To create a course? No, to do an online course.
Oh.
Not what the course is about.
No, I don't want to talk about that.
Okay. Well then how about why you thought it was a good idea for us to create a course?
For this particular one?
Yeah.
I think because it's not reachable for a lot of people to hire, and it's so useful. Having video content is really useful for business owners and small businesses, especially with social media and websites being so important.
Yeah.
Having video is really useful because for that know, like, and trust thing, videos the easiest way for people to feel like they know you.
Yeah. Because not only do they get to see you, they hear you, they get to connect with you on an emotional level, all the things that video does so well, right? Mm-hmm. And so many organizations we've worked with, they have like a marketing department or a communications department, and we've seen where their organizations or bosses hired them for traditional marketing and communications jobs or role, but it's also morphed where they kind of adding in like, well, we see that, you know, video content for our social media or our website is also really important. So can you guys do that? And we can't afford to hire anyone. So don't you have a camera at home and maybe you can shoot some stuff? And for a lot of people, they do that. And, you know, for many of them, it's a point of stress because they're like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just trying to, you know, figure it out. And is this okay? I don't know. And so even when we did our pop lives and we'd give some pointers and tips and things like that, a lot of the times it's like, I can imagine people hearing it would be like, well, that makes sense as far as the concept and the hows and whys, but I don't know how to do that technical side of things. I don't know how to achieve those things. And so we thought a course like this could give them the basics where it's not overwhelming, where we're giving them like, oh, we're trying to make you into a professional videographer. Yeah. It's like, here are the basics that will get you the right comfortable amount of skills to do, you know, effective video for yourself or for your organization. So,
and I think we wanted to start not just with technical stuff, but with concept. Yeah. And like your intention and your objective, because I think a lot of times people just run in like that video game guy that
Wreck-It Ralph.
No, the one where they're planning all their strategy and then that one guy runs in.
Leroy Jenkins.
Yeah. They're like, oh, video, rah! And they just like, oh, let's do this, and then they don't think about like who's gonna watch it and what they're trying to do with it. So then it just turns into kind of a poop show that nobody watches because it's like, what is this? So I think there's a lot of stuff that we've learned along the way of how to think about what you're doing before you do it, so that it serves a purpose.
Yeah, I think that's what we've seen in our experience as far as videos out there. Is there are a lot of talented video production people that have all these like really cool skills and talents to make it look and sound cool, but they're lacking that part where what's the purpose of this? So it might
just look like everybody else. Like, you don't want your company and your brand to look like, you don't want your video to look like somebody else could have put it out.
Yeah. And that's the point of video for businesses, organizations, is
especially small business.
Yeah, it's like a communication tool to show who you are to someone. So if you look and sound just like everyone else, then it actually can hurt you versus help you, right? And so for a lot of people who are seeing like, oh, we're going to be doing an online course on, you know, basic video creation and stuff, and for content for businesses and organizations, you keep doing that and it's like, what are you drinking?
It's still so hot, but it's air conditioned. You have the AC on, so I'm hoping it'll get cold faster.
Oh man, this is why I don't drink hot drinks. I'm not patient enough, so I drink nice ice cold drinks.
But it's too cold.
Trying to match the temperature of my heart. Just kidding. But yeah, if you wanted to learn like, you know, real technical stuff like that, you could easily get courses available right now, or you can go on YouTube and, you know, learn the basics and stuff. But it can be pretty overwhelming. I mean, there's tons of content out there. And so we looked at it from the perspective of people that we've met or knew that are in this position of, I'm an entrepreneur, I run my business myself, or I working for an organization that kind of just like morphed my position into like a video creator when I came in to do more, you know, marketing or PR work and stuff. And it's like, you don't have the time to be all like, go through years of training or stuff like that, or time to go looking through all of these different YouTube videos, like which one is the right one for me and stuff. So we are creating this course with the idea of giving you the tools first to recognize what it is you're trying to do, what is your voice and stuff like that, which will then make it whatever you learn from us after that, like relevant to you as an organization or as an owner, which I think is like the key missing piece to a lot of content that we see out there.
Yeah.
So that's what the plan is. As far as what Pop Live will be, what can people?
I don't know yet. We haven't really talked about it. This is all very new.
This
We're
is
very premature jumping on here and talking about it.
Yeah, this
But
is
we
kind
do
of par
know
for the
that.
course for Pop Live. We have an idea and we don't figure out the details. We just go, which is honestly, and it kind of goes to how we've learned and built our style. Is we didn't go to like a lot of trainings and courses first. We kind of just like.
What are you talking about?
What do
That's
you
what my degree is in.
No. For like now, like when you and I started working with our business.
Oh, yeah. We didn't know anything about business.
Yeah, we just went in and like maybe this will work, and then we start off with like what we think is supposed to be done, and that kind of didn't work. So then we're like, well, what do we want? And then so it eventually turned out to what we're at now, which is still evolving, but it's doing a lot better than when we first started. So yeah, that's kind of our MO. Brian's here. Welcome, Brian.
Hi, Brian.
Wing It is my modus operandi, and that is like Jamie's biggest source of anxiety because she is all about planning processes and writing out systems, and I'm like, let's just do it, Leroy Jenkins. So it's kind of good that we're a pair because you get the yin and yang of both. Like you get the, what is that, like spontaneity of me and the creative excitement, and then you have her going, let's actually make this functional and make sense and things. So it's good. So I think as we develop this course, we'll probably be sharing more information about it. Brian, you just joined us. So what we're basically announcing today is that in 2022, we will have been developing an online course for aspiring video makers, but not video makers in the sense of like, oh, I want to become a professional videographer. It's for people who either are entrepreneurs or business owners or people who work in like the marketing department of their organization that have kind of seen this need to create their own video content because they can't either afford to hire someone, or it's just like it would make more sense if, you have access to your business or your organization and the content every day because you work there, and it's very doable and reasonable for you to create your own. So it's not going to be something where it's overwhelming. It's like we're teaching you the basics to do an effective job without having all the extra frills of like, oh, you got to buy like the most expensive equipment and the best editing software. It's like, no, we're going to just meet you at wherever you're at, whether you're just making video on your phone or if you happen to have a subscription to editing software, like it will work either way. Lala says, that's why you two are so perfect together. You complement each other. We complement each other in that we fit in each other's like pieces, but we don't necessarily verbally compliment each other much. It's a lot of...
You compliment me. I compliment you.
That's true, she does.
I do. I just laugh at you also.
It's a double-edged compliment.
Lala, I'm not sure how to handle the editing part yet. That is something like because I do my editing on Adobe Premiere, and I know that a lot of people aren't going to be able to afford that, but I also don't know how to use like those other software.
iMovie or something.
I'm pretty sure I could figure it out though. But I think it'll be like that'll be something that we're trying to figure out along the way, like what people want to learn about. So
But the other thing too that I was mentioning to her as we were coming up with these ideas is that maybe that the focus isn't on the technical way of editing, but the concepts behind it. So
Like Apple X to do this.
yeah, like we don't necessarily need to tell you that, but whatever software you're using, it could be more about you want timing to be like this, like the music beat to hit when you change this the clip or something like things like that, the concepts, so that whatever you're using, you can go, oh, I know how to just slide that over and make sure it's that. So anyways, and Brian, you have Premiere. Why do you have Premiere, Brian?
I know. Are you an editor?
Yeah. That's awesome. Perfect. And then Lala said, I want to say Mommy said, but it's Mommy Guide Inc., which is Lala. Said she's sure that we'll figure it out. That's why she still can't put out edited video. Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
just know, folks, that the persons that we are viewing as like the typical, student of ours would be someone who is really amateur and limited in as far as like tech stuff. So it's not going to be like over your head and overwhelming. That's what the point of it will be. Oh, Brian gets his Premiere with his Creative Cloud subscription. I didn't know it comes with that whole thing.
If you get the package, you can get them individually, but you can also get the whole thing.
Well, we're going to help you put that thing to use, Brian, although that probably can be very overwhelming. It's a pretty robust program. But the cool thing is that while Jamie's like really well versed in editing software and the tech side, I have like almost zero background. So I can kind of represent our students in that if she starts, coming up with things in the course, I'm like, I don't get that, so I don't think they're going to get that. So I'm going to be the voice of the voiceless.
Voice of the voiceless.
But yeah, so that's what the plan is. So I think the content of Pop Live is going to skew and change moving forward because, again, initially the purpose of Pop Live was to target nonprofits and help them with
all kinds of
stuff. And I think if you're a nonprofit and you feel like there's more that you need to know, of course, you could always reach out to us and contact us and we'll help you out. But I'm pretty sure that we've probably covered it in one of our 47 episodes. So the great news is they're all on demand for you. If you want to go and search on our playlist on YouTube or Facebook, all our live streams are there. But moving forward, we will be putting out episodes that are geared more towards,
I think, video, like how to use it for your organization or your business.
Yeah. So initially, for at least immediately going forward, we're going to be doing episodes on different types of videos because that's the other thing is it'd be one thing for us to say, hey, we're going to teach you how to make video. But I think what's more important is recognizing the different types. And so to know what types you can make and what's appropriate for what you're trying to accomplish, which surprisingly enough, that is like a huge issue that I come across with a lot of our clients is like the first meeting we'll have, they'll already have an idea of like, oh, we want to make this X type of video. And the first question I'll have is like, well, what are you trying to accomplish out of that? Like, why do you want to have a video? And when they go, oh, that's a good question. And they'll figure it out what they want to accomplish. And then I'll say, most of the times I'll be like, okay, so if that's what you're trying to accomplish, this type of video is not appropriate for that. And so we're going to try to help educate our Pop Live viewers on different things so that you can kind of plan and process things in a more productive way versus, oh, well, everybody makes this kind of video, so we just thought we need to make one too. It's like, no, let's have it be appropriate for you, your voice, your audience, in your organization.
And it's not going to be live streaming. That's not going to be what we're covering.
Oh, but we will be streaming live.
We'll be streaming live, but we're not talking about live streaming.
Right.
If you want to learn how to live stream, then go see Live Streaming Pros.
Yeah, they're far better and more educated people for that. But yeah, so we're really excited about it. It's going to be a lot of work, but I think it's going to be really useful. And we hope that for all of you who have been following us and being such great supporters of Pop Live, it'll still be really relevant and helpful and useful for you as well. Whether you get the course or not, like it'll still be really relevant for you. So that's it. That's what the big plan is for 2022. Eek. How about you guys, Lala, Brian? Do you guys have any big plans for 2022? It's not necessarily like what is that, New Year's resolution? It can be, but do you have something that you are thinking like, okay, 2022, this is where I'm going to do this, or where we're going to start implementing that? I'd be really curious what you guys have planned. I know for Emma and Nato, their plans for 2022 is napping and eating.
She's not snoring today.
Yeah. Oh, she's snoring, but not as loud.
Oh.
Yeah. I think it's because I'm moving around so much. It's hard for her to get into a deep sleep. We have 3 viewers. So somebody is watching that is not commenting. So whoever you are, mystery viewer.
Oh my goodness.
Tell us something that you got planned for 2022. So Brian says he plans to take our classes. Wow. All right, we got our first subscriber to our class. And he says he doesn't have a history of doing resolutions or setting personal goals relating to the new year. And we pretty much don't either, but this just happened to fall upon when we figured this out.
Timing just...
It's like, oh, New Year's is like in 2 weeks. And Lala says definitely wants to be able to bring out more edited videos instead of live streaming ones. And yeah, Lala, I think you'll start as we start to unveil these like different types of videos and stuff, you'll start to see, hey, this would be great for what I'm trying to accomplish or for who my audience is. Yeah. And you're going to have some really fun connections with your audience by opening up and doing more than just live streaming. So I'm excited for you, Lala.
Yeah.
I think what you're doing, Lala, with your live streams is really
so
awesome.
Good.
Yeah.
So good.
So the fact that you're going to be venturing out into edited video, I have very high expectations for you because I know what you're going to put out is quality. Yeah. Oh, wow. That was a big snurfle.
Are you okay?
But yeah, this is going to be a really fun adventure for us, I think. It's going to be meaningful. And the best part about it is that after I called out our third mystery viewer for not saying
they
ran away. Oh man, I'm sorry, mystery viewer. My apologies. I just really love to hear from you guys. But the fun part about this course for us is
you're so creepy.
It perfectly combines like where our talents or strengths or passions are, which is, as we mentioned in the beginning, Jamie likes processes, systems and things.
Why don't you know that word?
Because it's not something I do.
Rachel would be so upset with you.
This is maybe why I don't follow the systems, is because I can't even say the word systems. But for course creation, she's perfect for that. And then me, I like to talk. So all I have to do is teach the course. I don't necessarily have to know how to do it myself. That's where she comes in. So, full disclosure.
And I'll make sure he doesn't say the wrong thing.
Yeah. Full disclosure. Do as I say, not as I do. As what she does, and then do as I say. And it's perfect. It's like Voltron, but we're just like 2 parts of Voltron. So I'm the one that maybe like swings the Voltron sword, but she's the one that sends all of the...
I'm Keith, the Black Lion. But then the Black Lion also has the head, like the I don't talk.
But Voltron doesn't talk. Voltron talks with his actions, which is swinging his sword. So that's me. I'm the sword arm. Which one is that? The blue one?
Brian said Voltron is the new scary man.
Oh no. We don't want to tie ourselves with a new variant. All right.
Okay.
Well, if you guys have any questions, again, we're still in the creation phase of this, so the course is not ready at all. But hopefully by the end of first quarter of 2022, so maybe second quarter of 2022, we can have more information. I'll say that. We'll have more information about what
I thought you were going to say it's ready.
No. But it'll come.
If you guys have I almost said mommy now.
Mama Lolly? Lala.
Lala and Brian.
Malala.
Oh my goodness. If you guys have like thoughts about what you would want to learn or like what you would want to use video for or any kind of thoughts, that would be helpful because we have what we've helped other people with. Mm-hmm. But there's definitely way more and like other types of businesses and goals that we haven't run into. So yeah, any thoughts that you have?
Yeah, and same for you, and not just Brian and Lala. Any of you viewers,
mystery viewer who ran away.
If you ever come back and you're watching this on the replay, we'd like to know your thoughts too. But yeah, if you don't want to throw them in the comment section, you can email us at info@popcm.me. Which is right there. So that's our email address. Yeah, we are still going to be doing our Pop Lives every week. Are we going to do it next week? We are, right?
I don't know.
I think we're still... Because Christmas and New Year fall on the weekend. So I think the next week, our episode will still be good.
That's a good idea, Survey Monkey.
Framing. Oh.
Yeah.
So Brian, thank you for a great suggestion.
Yeah.
So he said to make a Survey Monkey for the shy mystery viewers. But he also wanted to learn about framing. I'm assuming like how to frame a shot, which is so great. I'm so glad that you said that because that is like one of the easiest things to overlook and probably the easiest way for people like subconsciously when they're watching a video, like something just don't look right about this. And it's usually framing, and it's something that I think is easy to learn, but I myself haven't even learned it. So this will be good for me to learn. But Jamie's really good at that. Like she always is able to point out where it could be better or where the framing was an issue. So she's got a great eye for that. So that'll be something she'll help with. But
thank you, Lala.
Yeah, thank you guys so much. And just for the past 47 episodes, we cannot thank you enough, all of you, for your support. And this has been so fun and fulfilling for us. I don't think we could have imagined that we'd have made it this far.
Still be doing
it.
it.
And the reason why we are is because of people like you, Brian, like you, Lala, like Jill, who usually is on here too, and all of those of you who have been here from day 1 or day 12 or day 46, so thank you guys for supporting us, and thank you for continuing to as we move on to this new iteration, is that the right word, of Pop Live. So starting next week, we're going to be going into this new venture, and we'll start off with our first episode covering our different types of videos.
Oh, okay.
So I won't tell you which one it is yet because we haven't decided, but we will. We'll have a type of video that will explain what makes it unique, who it's best for, and all that kind of stuff. It'll be fun. It'll be good. That's it.
Okay.
So this is us signing off. I feel like just leaning into the awkward right now. I don't have a good, clean ending.
Push the end button.
Oh, wait. Where is it?
Oh, right there.
Oh,
end.
okay.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we bid you adieu.
Oh my God.